further ado, let's talk about light language, or sometimes it's known as universal languages or soul dialect, or light or languages of light, or some people might call it speaking in tongues. So the only difference between speaking in tongues is that it has a religious connotation to it, whereas light language, it doesn't. So as mentioned earlier, I am the founder of Quantum Light Language Academy, which I am currently working on the website. And my other sole purpose is to awaken the collective. And the fastest way that I can think of is to demystify or normalize light language, since one of the major benefits of speaking light language is that it's the quickest way to tap into your soul remembrance, to connect with your soul, the true divine that's within you. And remember who you truly are. So that's one of the benefits of learning light language. And a couple of others is, in my opinion, is the quickest way to raise your vibration. So if you are down, if you're able to speak light language, you can bring in the light codes and light language to uplift you. And the third benefit, in my opinion, is that it's the quickest healing modality out there that I know. So light language is often described as an ancient language or a way to connect with the divine, or it's a gift and only maybe a selected few can access. Well, in the next little while, I will demystify and go over all that. So light language is a vibration of any living thing. If it's a living thing, it has a soul, it has a vibration, and therefore it has a sound. Even if we cannot hear it with our human ears, there's still a vibration. It still produces a sound. And therefore, yes, it is absolutely an ancient language, because ever since there is a living thing, it creates a sound, and hence light language was born. So because light language is the vibration of any living thing, everyone can speak it, especially if you want to, you are ready, and you are contracted to do so in this lifetime. So one of my other sole purpose is to normalize and demystify light language. And it is not only the selected few that get to speak it, or that they're special, or that they have superpowers, that's why they're able to tap in. That's not the case. Totally not the case. It's very, very similar to what I've been trying to show you in the past couple of days during the masterclass series, is that all of us have these innate abilities, these innate so-called psychic and healing abilities within us. If we wish to tap into them, and if we are ready, and again, if we are contracted to do so in this lifetime. So because it's a vibration of any living thing, and it is as an ancient language, as some would describe, since, again, ever since there's any creation, there is a living thing. So absolutely, it is an ancient language. So some probably already are or don't even know it. Like some of you might be speaking it and you don't even know it. So many people have or think or might be speaking gibberish, or might be producing random sounds when you are happy, or when you are in a certain mood. And when you produces the sounds, it picks you up. It makes you feel good. So, or maybe perhaps when you were a little kid, or maybe if you have kids or grandkids, you'll notice that they started, or you might remember that you have a certain makeup language that you just use with your siblings. And so only you and your sibling understands. And the thing is, after a little while, or as you grow up, or as you actually enter into the school system, you gradually stop speaking it. And maybe perhaps it's because the adults around you said, oh, stop doing that. That is so silly. That is so annoying, right? Or maybe your classmates or schools or the older siblings or the other students ask you to stop because it's embarrassing. So similar to these psychic abilities, which are innate within us. So again, most likely, perhaps when you were little, we all had this. And unfortunately, due to societal programming, we stopped tapping into that as a result. So everything in these masterclass series in the past couple of days is to help you remember who you truly are, and to help you empower yourself and to believe in yourself. And you might ask, okay, so who am I? You are a powerful light being currently having a human experience. And I want to help you maximize your experience on Earth so that you will actually have an enjoyable life. So light language is an umbrella term that encompasses all kinds of various light language dialects, including soul dialect and light codes. And because light codes often fall under that category as well. And I'll talk a little bit about that later on. So there are various ways of transmitting light language, and it could be spoken, it could be sung, it could be written, it could be drawn, and it could come through via dance or hand movement and gestures. And most likely, if you can do one of these, the chances are you've been activated with light language, and other forms of it will come through later on as you are ready to transmit in those ways. So how do light language sound like? Well, some sound more like human language, therefore more palatable to our ears, whereas others sound perhaps like a string of clicking or random noise. So many have reported that they feel super emotional because it feels very, very familiar, like home, when they listen or hear light language for the very first time. And that's actually exactly what happened to me. The first time that I heard light language, I had no idea what it was. And I actually started to bawl, and in a good way, meaning I was just going, wow, this sounded so familiar. It sounded like home. What is this? It's not human. It's not human language. What is it? Or often people will get chills all over in a good way. And this is because it resonates with your soul. So this is not always the case, though. So that's why it's very important to always use your discernment when you are planning to engage in anything or engage with anything. And what do I mean by that? Well, the word light language has two misconceptions, or rather, the word light has a misconception and the word language has a misconception. So the one being, okay, let's talk about light in light language. So what does that mean? Well, you know how sometimes you listen to a transmission on YouTube or whatever, TikTok, Facebook, it doesn't make you feel good, or maybe something feels just a little off, well, the best way to put it, instead of saying, oh, that transmission is bad or whatever, the best way to put it is that, or the most accurate way of putting it is that that particular transmission that you listened to that didn't make you, or you felt like it's a little off, is because the intention behind the transmission most likely is not for your highest good. So anytime that you actually come across something like that, then just listen to your intuition and scroll away. Okay, that's it. That's all you have to do. And so that's why light language, not everything is of the light. And for the second misconception, the word language, I will touch upon that a little later on. So because light language is the vibration of any living thing, therefore, literally, there are gazillions of dialects out there. So literally. So I'll give you a really good example, and I love giving out this example. So let's just say one day, an extraterrestrial is going out for a walk and meets a earthling. So the ET is so excited and go, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. It's the first time that I actually met a earthling. Earthling, could you say something? The earthling goes, okay, sure. So start speaking English. So the ET goes, oh, okay. Wow, cool. Okay. So that's how earthling sounds like. Amazing. Awesome. So the very next day, the same ET goes out for a walk. So he goes out for a walk, and then, wow, lo and behold, he meets another earthling. So this time the ET goes, oh, wow, I'm so excited. I just met an earthling yesterday. I'm meeting another earthling today. So earthling, could you say something? So the earthling goes, okay, so started speaking Japanese. The ET is a little confused and go, oh, that is interesting. Today's earthling sounded nothing like yesterday's earthling, but okay, whatever. So the ET again, the next day went out for a walk. And then, wow, again, the same ET meets another earthling. So this time, the ET says, wow, earthling, I can't believe it. I've met like 3 earthlings in a row, 3 days in a row. Could you please say something? So the earthling went, ruff, 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 ruff. So that gives you a really good example of why there are gazillions of dialects out there. So that's why perhaps sometimes when you listen to various transmissions by different people on social media, you might be wondering, oh, how come this person says that they're Arcturian? But it sounds very different from the Arcturian that I heard the other day transmitted by somebody else. Well, this is why, because most likely the person didn't specify Arcturian what. Is it a Arcturian being, as in like human being, like a being? Is it an Arcturian dragon? Is it an Arcturian insect, fairy, and or bird? And even within all of those categories, the Arcturian dragon will sound different, because is it an Arcturian fire dragon, Arcturian water dragon, air dragon, so on and so forth? They all sound different, right? And so there are so many different dialects. But of course, if you actually tapped in, once you are more in tune with light language and you tap in, you can decipher, okay, this sounds like dragon, and it could be a Lyran dragon, it could be a Andromedan dragon or Arcturian dragon. And then you can also say, okay, this sounds like Lyran. It has a Lyran vibration to it, but it could be a Lyran fairy, it could be a Lyran butterfly, or Lyran unicorn, right? So that is how Teresa said, great explanation. Yeah, so that is why when you tap in, when you listen to various people speaking it, it sounds different. In addition to that, um, it also sounds like all of us humans, we have our own accents as well, which we will add to it when we bring through those vibrations too. So that's why just keep all those things in mind when you listen to the various transmissions. And that is why it may sound different from person to person. Okay, so as I mentioned, or maybe again, you might be going, okay, so what is the hype behind speaking light language? What's the big deal? Why do some people want to learn how to speak light language? Or why do I want to learn? What's the purpose? Why do I want to learn how to speak it or transmit it? And there are many benefits, but the featured benefits that that is actually related to light language, in my opinion, as I mentioned earlier, is the quickest way to tap into your remembrance, to help you remember who you truly are. And it is the quickest way to raise your own vibration and getting you out of that sappy, awful, downer mood. And it is also one of the quickest and most effective healing modalities out there. Since some and not all light language practitioners can also work at the DNA level, and it'll also help you activate and heal in that deepest, quickest way possible. And yes, it has other many benefits, such as, yeah, you'll be able to connect with source, other galactic beings, spirit guides, your higher self, but you can actually do that with using other tools, other ways as well. So you don't really need light language for that. So how can you be activated then? Let's just say you're like, okay, so now I'm interested. I want to be activated. How can I get activated? Well, you can get activated either consciously or unconsciously. And there are 4 ways. So one is unconscious, and it's spontaneous, basically out of nowhere. Literally, you will hear some people say, oh, the next day, I don't know, one day I just woke up and I started speaking some weird sounds, and as if it sounds like a dialect. So that is spontaneous, that is unconscious. They literally just start speaking out of nowhere. So, and then there is also 3 ways of consciously activating that. And one is to consciously listen to others speak the various dialects and transmissions on social media. And also, the 3rd way is you can self-activate, which I'll go over that. And then the 4th way to consciously activate your light language is to get an activator to activate your light language. And that is someone like me, because I am a light language activator and I can help you with that. But that requires an investment, although it is the fastest way. You'll get the fastest result that way. So how do you self-activate? Well, you can listen. Okay, so let's do this. So as you know, if you've already been to my the past couple of days here with me, you know that I love to show you hands-on exercises, hands-on learning. So you'll have to participate with me and just feel this out. So I just need to grab some music. Hold on a second. Okay, so in this, the first way of self-activating is to listen to your favorite music. So I'm just going to put on any random music here. And act as if you are a conductor. As so. It's a beautiful life. Oh, oh. It's a beautiful life. Oh, oh. It's a beautiful life. Oh, oh. I just wanna be Okay, so the thing is with activating light language, you have to bring the inner child within you out. You have to have fun. Okay, don't be so serious. When you're trying to activate your light language, you have to be silly, fun, and just basically be you. So ideally, you're in a place where you can be yourself. You don't have to feel restrictive or as if, oh, I cannot be silly. Like what is my child, my husband, my whoever is going to think of me? No, be at a place where you can just be you. Okay. So let's do another example. Okay. Again, try it out and just be a conductor. It's gonna be a good day, a good vibe. There ain't a little postmates in my time. Turn the music up on a long drive. Make a little love in the sunshine. It's gonna be a good day, a good time. As long as I got your head in mine. Wouldn't wanna live any other way. Wake up every morning, look at you and say, it's gonna be a good day. Da 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 da. It's gonna be a good. Okay, that's one. Another example, and I'll do one more before one last one. It's a beautiful life. Oh, oh. It's a beautiful life. Oh, oh. It's a beautiful life. Oh, oh. I just wanna be beside you. I just wanna be. Okay, so that is one way of self activating your light language. So, as I mentioned, one way activating your light. So, as I mentioned, there are different ways. Irina says fun. Teresa says, got me dancing over here, Lily. Yay. Yes, for myself, it raises my vibration for healing myself and others and our beautiful planet. Yes. And yeah, that's amazing, amazing, amazing. So, as I mentioned, there are various ways of transmitting light language, right? There's the spoken, articulating light language, there's singing, there is hand movement, there is body movement, there is drawing, painting, and written, right? So just now what I showed you is activating your hand gesture and body movement. because once you activate one of them, the others will follow when you are ready. It'll be a lot easier to bring the others through. Okay, so I've showed you how to do that. And there's another way, which let's try the activating the articulation of your light language. So you can try that by tuning using your voice, or you can just start by going toning in whichever tone you would like. So for example, or you can even go through the different sounds of the chakras, right? So for example, you can go Om Shanham Yam Ram Vam Lam. Okay, you can try it that way. Or you can also try replacing any tunes you like with any sounds. For example, I'm going to use the tune to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, because I think most people know that. Okay, so you could do something like this. You can start off by let's just say do. Okay, so you can start by filling in the lyrics, so to speak, with do. So it sounds like something like this. Do 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 do. So after a while, you might be tired of those. Then just add something else. La 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 la. Then we'll do it again. Do do la la do do la do 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 la 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 do 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 la la do 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 ra. Maybe then you're gonna go, okay, I think I'm getting a little bit I'm getting a little bit bored with that. So let's add something else. Ti 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 do 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 la la ti ti da to da ro da 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 da. Then you'll find that after a while you'll just literally it will gradually flow through you, meaning different sounds will just flow through you because you're having fun, right? Literally what it is, you're saying, okay, I'm going to fill up Twinkle Twinkle Little Star with any sounds that I want, any lyrics, right? So it might sound something like this. Do do la la ti ti ta ta do ro ta 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 ra ta 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 di 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 da ra do 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 de ba ra ta ta ra ta ra ta ta do 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 de ta ta ri ti ta ta re ta do ro 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 ti ti ta ra 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 di di da ra chikri ta 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 ro chikri do 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 do. So try that. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so another way to activate this time your written light codes or light language is just have a piece of paper and a pen in front of you, or pencil, whatever it is you want to write with, and then just start scribbling. Okay, because light language, when you speak it vocally, speaking it is vocal, but when you speak it and when you first writing it, both of them, because you're not familiar, you might think it's gibberish. Okay, so that's why I call it scribbling. When you first start, you scribble. Okay, when you first speak, just let any sounds come out and have fun. The key is to have fun with it. And you can just start scribbling and see what comes out, see what comes up. And that is the way that you can activate the written light codes within you. Okay, so try it. So how can you tell that you're actually got activated? Like, how can you tell you've truly self-activate your own light language within you? You can tell by you no longer have to consciously try to articulate, if you're speaking it, articulate the next sound. So in the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, I first said, okay, let's do do, right? Okay, then let's change to la. Then let's change to T. But then you'll notice that after a while, you'll just let any sound come out, right? Any sound come out, and you will no longer thinking what the next sound should sound like. That's when you know you're activated. Same thing with written light codes. You are for first scribbling, you're having fun anyway scribbling. Then after a while, you'll notice that your scribbling is looking more and more like maybe symbols, right? Or maybe it looks like it has meaning, or it's starting to have meaning for you. Okay, and same thing with doing the hand movements. When you're pretending you're a conductor at the beginning, you're going, okay, how am I going to move my hands? But after a while, just let your hands move, because you will feel that your hands want to move a certain way, or your hands want to start moving. Okay, so that's how you know when you're going to be, that's how you know that you are actually activated. So how do you choose an activator? If you would like to have an activator to activate you, how do you choose an activator? So what you do is you need to do some research, and that's when you should listen to their transmissions, their recordings, and to see if they resonate with you or not. Does it uplift you? Does it make you feel good? Do you feel at peace? Does it feel familiar? Does it give you the tingles? Maybe does your body and your cells feel happy and they vibrate happily? If so, most likely that is your activator. And yeah, so hi, Lauren. Hi, Maeve. Yeah, so often give that a shot. And as I said before, you might think it's gibberish. Maybe you're already speaking it, right? You might think it's gibberish, but maybe it's not. So just give it a shot and see what happens, right? And the thing is, once you actually start, or let's just say if you're already speaking gibberish, let's just call it gibberish, making a random string of sounds that make you feel good. The next thing to do is, the key is to set intention. So what does that mean? Okay, so before you start speaking it, just set an intention. What do you want to transmit? What do you want to articulate? Or what do you want to write if you're writing, let's call it scribbles. What do you want to write about? What do you want it to set the intention as? And just do that, set the intention, and then start writing or start transmitting. Okay, so that's what you do. So there are basically, though, 3 types of light languages. And this is not often talked about. So there are 3 types of light languages, and one is generally called messages. So they come through as messages. Another type is healing. They're just healing vibrations, and that's it. There are no meanings. It's just healing vibrations. And the third one is just noise. Yes, just noise. Meaning, you know how sometimes, I don't know if you had the experience of someone is talking to you and they're saying so much, but you're like, what is this person talking about? They're talking about a lot about nothing. That is what I am referring to. So that sometimes happen too. And also transmissions can be all 3 or variations of any of the 3 that I just mentioned. So this is one of the reasons why some people might have trouble understanding what's being transmitted, because perhaps it could simply be a healing vibration. It's not meant to have any messages at all, right? And in addition, remember how I said earlier that the word light language, it sort of has a misconception, sort of. So we already talked about what I meant by the first word, light, the misconception in that. And the second word now is language. The word language often throw people off. What does that mean? So it means that if we humans hear language, as in light language, we're like automatically we're going, oh, okay, so I wish I can understand it. I wish someone can give us translation with regards to what it means word for word. But that's not how it works, because light language is, as I mentioned before, is the vibration of any living thing. So if we called it light vibration, I'm just saying an example, if we said, oh, this is light vibration, would we try to understand it the same way? No, we will not try to understand it the way that we try to understand a human, a new language, new human language, which is with our mind, which is word for word, right? Because if it's a vibration, such as singing bowls or tuning forks, when we listen to that vibration, we will not go, oh, is that A minor? Is that B major? We won't do that, right? Same thing with light language, even though it's called language. It's no, we don't try to understand light language that way. We need to perceive it as, we need to receive it as a vibration, which it is. And how do we try to understand vibrations? Feel into it. We try to use other parts of our muscle to try to tap into the understanding. And this is where I go into detail in my 6-week program. It's called the Introduction to Light Language Mastery, to not only activate your light language, I'm also going to show you how to tap in to understanding the transmissions, the light language transmissions as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, and also reach out to me and let me know, and I will connect with you, or even put it in the comments and I'll connect with you. So this is basically the gist of what the light language is all about. And okay, hold on a second. Lauren says, might light language sound like whispers, so on and so forth. Yes. And Maeve said, mine sounds like clicks. Yeah, absolutely. There's so many different ones. And even on top of that, it could be a soul dialect too, right? Which adds to the gazillions of dialects that I mentioned earlier. So how do you receive light language transmission? Or how do you receive a light language healing transmission? So there are 3 important steps to take in order to maximize the healing transmission. So again, as I just mentioned, do not analyze. When a light language healing transmission comes through, feel it. Open your heart. If you wish to receive, that's if, open your heart to receive. Because basically it's a sound therapy, simply put, sound therapy. So you feel into it. How does it make you feel? Right? Which parts of your body do you feel the tingles? Or maybe you feel tingles all over, right? And again, do not analyze it with your mind and go, ooh, what is she saying? What is she trying to say? What is she transmitting? No, don't do that. It's basically a vibration. It's a vibration. If it's a light language healing transmission, it's a vibration that is trying to assist you in vibrating out your dense energy. Okay, or it's bringing in light codes that is will replace in your body or activate your either DNA or your cells. Okay, so again, don't analyze. Do not analyze when you are receiving a light language healing transmission. And the second important thing is relax. Stay relaxed. So if you're listening to the light language healing transmission, and if you feel any physical discomfort within your body, simply just acknowledge it and say, okay, I feel discomfort in my throat. My throat is feeling scratchy. My knees are feels like there's strain in my knee. I don't know. Or, ooh, my head is tensing up. Just acknowledge it, right? Instead of going, ooh, why is it as soon as she starts transmitting, I'm starting to get all these weird, how come my knee is starting to hurt or my throat is starting to tighten up? No, don't do that. Because that simply means the transmission, the healing transmission, is already assisting you in vibrating, starting to loosen up the areas, because everybody's different. That happens to be the area you store the dense energy for whatever particular subject the transmission is about. So that's why you're feeling the weird discomfort in various parts of your area, your body. So just ease into it, just relax, remain relaxed and acknowledge it and allow the vibrations to come through to loosen it up for you. Okay. And the third important thing to do is to help physically release any dense energies when you have, if you have any physical release sensations, such as burping, coughing, yawning, crying, laughing. It could even be farting. It could be even burping. Or you may want to feel like stretching, moving your arms, standing up. Or some people will just feel like they need to sway side to side, or whatever it is your body is asking you to do it. Because that really assists with the healing process, the clearing process, the light language healing transmission. And so if you follow all three, that's the best way to maximize a healing, light language healing transmission. Okay,